Hey guys, welcome to Thorough Capping. It's 2:45 in the morning. I mean, I'm going fishing today at 5, so I got up. I got a few hours sleep. I guess I was excited about fishing, so I really couldn't get a deep sleep in. But what I did was I took the time to look at 50 of our races from the past on our grids. Now, I still got a ton more. As you can see over here, I have a whole slew more to do. Well, not a whole slew because there's a lot of blank grids down here, but I still got some to add. And what I'm doing here is I'm trying to do a factor analysis to determine which of these factors are pulling more weight than others. So here's what I did. Out of the 50 races that produced winners, and by the way, there were 56 races, and 50 out of the 56, the winner was found in the top 4 TC rating. Anything outside of that, the other 6 races, I didn't include them, even though some of them did show up over here, either first or second. But what I did was I just took those 50 winners out of the top 4, and I wanted to highlight where they came from as far as where they got their points from. And the overall goal is to try to get this TC rating on this factor analysis sheet up to a 4, as close to a 4 as possible. What I did was, if the horse that won the race finished in fourth in TC rating, I gave him 1 point, and then if he finished first in TC rating, I gave him 4 points. So technically, if you think about this, if every horse that won finished first in the TC ratings, they would all get 4 points, and then 50 times 4 is 200, and this formula has this total divided by 50, which would give this a 4.0. Right now it's a 2.88. So that's telling me if it was a solid 3, the average would be the second TC rating. So anywhere, the average has been horses with the second or third TC rating have been winning our allotment of races. And my goal is to eventually put together formulas and establish new grids where they're not all worth the same. For example, an 89 in a target rating might not be the same as an 89 in a final fraction rating, where we can have weighted factors, like an impact rating for each of these factors based on where they're showing up. Now, if you take a look at this, I gave 1 point if the horse was top target. For example, if the horse was tops in the category, I gave him 1 point. If he was second in the category, I gave that category a half a point. If he did not show up in that category first or second, he got a -1. So for example, the very first race, the winner was not the target, he was not the ability, he wasn't first or second in these categories. He was a second final fraction, and he was in top in the he was second in final fraction, and he was fourth in TC rating. That's why he got a 1 point, and he showed up nowhere in the qualitative. Okay, if you look at the second winner, he was tops in target, he was top ability, top final fraction, top target by Briz, and he did not show up in the speed cum in the top 2, but he was still managed to get top TC rating there. Gave him 4, and he was also at a trainer notation. Now, the findings here aren't that interesting. Not interesting. That's not the word I'm looking for. Surprising to me. The target category produces the top amount of winners. So this doesn't mean 11 winners. This means when you subtract the -1s for out of the 50 when they didn't show up, it's got 11 points total. Okay, compared to the 2 points in the ability category. So when I eventually do my new formulas on the grids, the ability, the 95 in ability is not going to be worth the same amount of points contributing to the TC rating as the target ratings percentage. So if the target rating comes out to an 80 and the ability comes out to a 90, the 80 may be contributing more points to the TC rating than the 90 in the ability column, and so forth. Final fraction, surprisingly, when it's all said and done, it's a 1. Okay? So the impact value there is a 1. The second highest, though, however, has been the target Briz. And that's not surprising because the target rating is 1, and the target Briz pretty much goes hand in hand. If the target rating is somewhat high, then that Briz figure is going to be somewhat high as well. So these are the top two, the target and the target Briz on the matrix system side. Okay, the speed cube is only showing a 1.5, and the final fraction is showing a 1. Now the same thing goes over here. However, this is a little bit skewed simply because not every race has a horse that has a key race or next down. Not every race is showing a horse with these factors here. So I can't do the negative ones and a point. All I could do was give it a point if it was the winner had that particular quality, such as a class drop or a trainer notation and so on. Now, the trainer rating is the top qualitative factor. And that's most likely because there's 4 or 5 different factors that at 18% or better that I give a point for. So obviously, if there was only one trainer factor we looked for, that number wouldn't be as high. But at the same time, what I'm looking at is if you have a horse with the top target or second best target, one or the other, because again, these 0.5s help contribute to that 11 as well. So if you have a horse that's a top target or second, and he's also first or second in target ability, and he's coming off a class drop, and he's got a trainer notation, might be a good play right there. Even if he finishes third or fourth in our TC ratings, that might be a good play right there with that 4 combination. And the goal is, like I said, is to start altering the formulas a little bit in my spreadsheet so that I can add weights to these rather than just all being the same, equaling the same, so that we can eventually, when I run more factor analysis on this, I can hopefully get that TC rating up closer to 4, where we can really rely on our order, our TC rating order, top rating, second rating, third rating, fourth rating, where we can rely on that more as far as pointing us in the right direction. Now, like I said, I still have more races to add to here. Okay, I stopped at 50 because I wanted to make this video, but I just want to show you guys where I'm headed with this, and hopefully it's gives us a better success rate. I mean, right now, like I said, there was 56 races, and I was able to pull 50 races where we had the winner in our top 4 TC rating. Now, as far as exotics go, the exactas, I mean, that would be a totally different grid. That would probably be a lot harder to do. I would know how to do it, but it would take a long time to do, simply because I would have to do a separate grid with the second place horse as well, and then work from there. But I think this is a start in the right direction. I'd like to hear some of your thoughts on what I'm doing here, what my thinking is, or if there's anything that's maybe skewed here that I'm not thinking about. And I may be reaching out to some people either in the Discord or on another video about spreadsheet experience. If I want to start adding weights, what would be the best way to do it? Because I don't want that TC rating to start blowing up to 200 and 300 and 600 because I'm multiplying certain factors. I want to figure out what's the best way to do it. But all right, thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon.